Hey everybody. Okay, so I'm gonna try to make this not a super long video so that we can keep everybody's attention. Ryan here with Go For It Studios, and I'm back in Georgia. And Max needs a new radiator, so I figure I'm gonna do the radiator, new hoses, new lines, just everything. And I've got a full aluminum one coming, and I can't remember where it's coming from or what brand it is, but we'll do an unboxing on the second part of this video. So today I'm actually just going to be doing the extraction and taking everything apart, and I'm really excited. So let's check out the setup. So here's Max, just looking awesome. Got my sweet coveralls, thanks Connor. I got my DeWalt mechanic tool set and all the other tools that I might need in there. I'm going to turn on some jams and start pulling everything apart and taking it all out, because I don't have all the rest of the parts that are going in, but I might as well do the removal. So let's get started. Okay, so coveralls are on, we're ready to go. Bugs aren't terrible yet. So first we got to take off the whole air box. Once we remove that, we're going to take off the upper part of the fan shroud. Just to make things easier, because I don't want to put tools through the grill or anything, we're going to take off the whole front just to give super easy access, because on this rebuild for the radiator, which it's just clogged and dirty and nasty and it's just old, so I just wanted to get a new one in there. Didn't break or anything, thank God. But I'm going to put on a secondary condenser for a transmission cooler. So I'll have a secondary transmission cooler as well as my secondary power steering cooler on the new condenser for the radiator. And I'm pretty stoked about that, because it's just going to make things way nicer. And maybe we'll do some general cleanup and everything. Okay, so got the air box off, upper fan shroud off, lower fan shroud's just kind of hanging out there. And you can see where I had to trim it and stuff because of the body lift and then the torsion bar lift, all that fun stuff. Very necessary. There it is, all set up. Now we're gonna work on taking off the whole front, and we'll be back. All right, so we've got the headlights, blinkers, the grill, all of it's removed right now. It goes really quick when you've done it as many times as I have. You start to have a good system, and van guys know that. I mean, any guy does that works on his own car. I'm fine with just tucking my bulbs back and out of the way. I don't do anything special or crazy for them. You can wrap them or whatever. I know some people are super paranoid about it, but now everything's exposed. You can see my little tiny power steering cooler. It's great. But what we're gonna take off is the radiator. So I've got a pan down below right now, and we're gonna go ahead and drain everything out. So I'm gonna remove the cap, drain it all, and then we're gonna start taking this stuff apart and seeing what's what. And we'll probably take out the lower fan shroud, just because it seems like it's gonna be in the way and it doesn't need to be there. And let's get started. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna pull the little petcock thing and drain the radiator fluid. And while that's draining, we're gonna come over to this side and remove these clips for the engine oil cooler lines. And I don't know, I might do the engine oil cooler delete. We'll see. But if not, then I'll get new clips for when I put the new radiator in when it comes next week. And it's important that any lines or anything that you expose or open up, you need to seal off if you're gonna not replace it all right away. And since I don't have the parts, I'll be taping everything up so that no contaminants get inside the system while it is all removed. And then when the new parts get here, I'll be really excited and get everything put back together. So I've got a drip pan down there, and we're gonna remove that. I've got a funnel thing too that I'm going to try to work into this so that it doesn't just spill all over everything. Yeah, and wish me luck. We'll get going on it. Okay, so it got dark on me real quick, but I got my little handy dandy flashlight. Got the upper and lower radiator lines removed. And if you have original OEM stuff, then you're going to want to also replace these clips with better hose clamps when you put the new radiator in. With the oil cooler lines, I just twisted up a little bit of blue mechanic cloth and stuffed it in there, twisting it a little bit. You don't want to shove a ton in, and you don't want to leave any remnants of the blue cloth behind to get into the system either. But now, with everything detached from the radiator and draining properly, we can come to the front side, and there's just these 4, 2 on each side, that you got to remove, and then you can pull the radiator out. Just remember, there's still going to be residual fluid inside, so as you're kind of fumbling it out of here, you might have some stuff dripping down. Just have some mechanic cloth ready to clean stuff up. All right, and we've got those 4 bolts removed. Boom, 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 boom. You don't have to take out the AC condenser to do this. I've seen a lot of people on YouTube taking out everything, and it's really unnecessary. Unless you want to replace your whole system, redo your AC, your power steering, like all that fun stuff. But you don't have to redo everything. So I've got all of this taken apart, and we are ready to pull the radiator. Stoked. Yay! Okay, we've got the radiator out. It's totally cleared out inside. I had to cut off my little plastic retainers for the power steering secondary cooler, but that's fine. I'll get some new ones. And it's dark, it's late. My flashlight is attracting all of the mosquitoes, not just a couple. So I'm gonna pack up my tools and get the parts in the van, and we're gonna continue this cleanup at least tomorrow. All right, so we've got everything completely taken apart. I'm really excited. Tomorrow I'm gonna spend the day, at least the morning, eating a delicious breakfast first. And then I'm going to give the van a really awesome cleaning and wipe down, and all the parts I took off, clean everything, so it's ready to get all put back together. Really excited. Also do a mechanic run and get the parts and clips and other things that I'm gonna need for when the radiator arrives. Stoked. Hey everybody, we're back. It is the next morning, and I'm just, again, I'm gonna say it again. I know it's been like 3 times, 4 times already. I'm super stoked that everything has worked out the way it has. I went down and did all that work on my van last night, just in preparation for when everything got here, knowing that it might not be here till Friday. But I just wanted to be ready and cleaned up and solid, set to go. So I got my 2 packages in the mail. I've made a shopping cart list for the local auto parts store that I'm going to head to get the rest of what I need, the clips. I'm also going to do an oil change after I do all this. I figure why not. Yeah, so let's get to an unboxing of what I received for the radiator from chrracing.com, and then also for the secondary transmission cooler. So let's flip, and we'll get this going. It's a nice box. Looks like it's well packaged. There's the one from Amazon for the transmission, the transmission cooler. Oh, of course it's a dull knife. No, it's not that bad. I'll open that one up in a minute. Okay. And it's got, sweet, that's not too bad. I think they were missing the staples on this side, but that's okay. I'm not complaining. Oh, it's nice. Double packaging and everything. That's definitely the bottom. I'm gonna give this a little rotation. Pull it out of the box. Oh, it's beautiful. Okay, so I went, and it took me a while to find it because I don't know, maybe it's not a super popular thing for Chevy Astros, but I got a fully TIG welded 40 millimeter. Oh, this thing is fat. Boom. Look at that. That's amazing. The other one is maybe half this wide, and then it has the plastic sides. I don't know if I really want to pull it out of the plastic. Is it open on this side a little bit? Okay, just give you guys a sneak peek. Pull this side out. Look at this. Gorgeous. That is so clean. They didn't even have to grind any welds like when you get shoddy welds done. Super smooth, super smooth bead patterns. Just amazing. Comes with everything that I'm gonna need, and I am freaking stoked. So now the other thing I'm looking at that I'm kind of excited about, and I've been looking for people's reviews on them, haven't really found a ton, but I still think I'm gonna try them out simply because Amazon offers like next day delivery. And what I'm talking about is the radiator hoses, because what I'm really considering is getting these all metal stainless steel flex tube radiator hoses that are supposed to be very anti-corrosive, whereas, you know, the rubber can wear, tear, stress fracture. It has so many different options that can go wrong with the rubber. Or you can go with silicone, which has really great ratings and really great reviews, and supposedly really great functionality. And I guess the silicone ones are used in a lot of racing applications, but I don't know. I really just want longevity. And the reviews I did find on the stainless steel radiator hoses were pretty darn good. But I'm just gonna go through and I'm gonna measure all my connector points on this new one just to see if there's any variation from the OEM, and verify that I'm gonna need the same sizes. And honestly, I'm gonna try out those stainless steel ones, and I just think it's gonna look pretty killer in the van too, having some chromed out stainless steel radiator hoses. But yeah, I am super excited about this. I'm gonna set it off to the side, and now we'll open up this guy and definitely put that little knife down. So I'm gonna set you guys on my knee and get this thing opened up. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, yeah. That's nice. Transmission oil cooler. Transaver Plus. Bruce. Pretty stoked about it. I had my tranny rebuilt. It's the 4L60E, you know, if you guys are familiar with it. And almost lost all my forward motion. I just had a feeling that I should go get it looked at and that it probably needs some work. And I was right. I don't know. I feel like when you name your van or your vehicle in general and you talk to it and you work on it a ton, you start to get to know it enough to the point where you can kind of sense when things just aren't right, you know, just a couple of little things were off. So they asked me if I wanted it just to have, like, you know, replace whatever was wrong with it, and I just told them to just do a full rebuild, put in, you know, all your recommended aftermarket part stuff or whatever, and new sun shield, everything. So I got a complete tranny rebuild, which is the only thing I haven't personally done on my van because I don't have a real shop. But everything else I've done and I'm really proud of. And I'm just gonna treat my tranny because this is supposed to be pretty nice, especially with the lift kit. I'm also carrying a lot more weight than I normally do. And I've got the tongue weight with my 77 Honda XL 350 on the back of the van when I'm actually road tripping. When I get to destinations and I'm putting around, obviously I take off the motorcycle because that's usually what I want to be riding, but it also needs a little bit more work. Big surprise. The life of a DIY auto guy. Yeah, it's just, and it's hard because it's a 77, so trying to find parts is going to be fun. But maybe I'll do a video on that too. Anyway, and it's cool, this comes with literally everything you need. So it comes with the hose clamps, it comes with the hoses, it comes with the freaking condenser. And I know that because I got the same style for my power steering cooler. Boom, there it is. So we've got those black metal rods, which I'm probably gonna only put 3 on here and steal another one of them for reinforcing my power steering cooler. So it's sweet. Comes with these freaking soft, squishy mounting tape backed pads that you can put between the cooler and your AC condenser. It comes with actual hose clamps, you know, with the screw adjuster, so they're actually pretty good quality. And this hose, like, it's nice. It's thread reinforced, you know. It's stiff. It's good. I like it a lot. Anyway, so good parts, good quality stuff. Real excited for this and the new radiator. I'm really glad I splurged on that. And honestly, it wasn't even that much of a splurge. I was looking at all the other options, and the shipping on stuff was just insane. I mean, it is big, but I paid 165 bucks for that radiator. CHRracing.com. I'll drop the link in the freaking bio description stuff, whatever. And it said 3 to 7 business days for shipping, and you know, it said like up to 3 business days for processing payment, depending on what form of payment you use. And I mean, I used fastest form of payment that they take, and then it showed up 3 days later. I just wasn't expecting that, especially since they stress on the website it could take longer, but I'm not too far from where it ships from in New Jersey. So I got really lucky on this, and it came before Friday, which is when I was actually expecting it, and that is just way too exciting for me. So yeah, I'm gonna hit the auto parts store today, get everything I need to do this, do my oil change, and to flush the whole system, because I'm gonna run distilled water through it, run through like a whole nother gallon of Dexcool, and then I'll actually get the system going with another gallon of fresh Dexcool. But this is also a larger radiator, so I'm probably gonna need some more fluid. Yeah, and it just allows you to hold a higher capacity of radiator fluid in your system, which is going to be more efficient for your engine staying at an optimum temperature. And I also need to pick up a thermostat. Thanks for reminding me. All right, I'll hit you guys up later. Hey guys, all right, so we're back. It's been raining, so I took a day. If you look in here, we got the cover, the upper insert cover off, and took out the thermostat. And I just actually, with this little funnel, bink, ran a bunch of distilled water through there, and about halfway through the gallon, you can see it dripping down there. About halfway through the gallon, it was coming out clear. So I'm feeling pretty good about it. What I'm gonna do now is go ahead and clean up all the edges there, make sure they're nice and smooth, ready for contact with the new gasket on the new thermostat. And we got, oh yeah, check it out. We got the awning out just in case it starts raining again. It's been on and off today, and the van is just an absolute disaster. But yeah, so we're getting to get this all finished, cleaned up too, make it all nice and smooth, or as best as we can again, and then get the new thermostat in there. Then I got a bunch of other stuff because I'm going to do an actual flush also with radiator fluid. Let it run through, circulate a bit, and then clean it out. And I bought some radiator cleaner stuff just to see if I can help get some of that gunk out that was in there. Being a little bit over paranoid, extra cautious, but it's worth it to me. So I mean, I love Max. I want them running good, I want them running solid. So yeah, we got the flush done. So now I think what we're actually gonna do is new lines install. New radiator hoses are up in the house. I'm gonna go grab those, get those all nice and tightened down after getting that thermostat in. And then we'll get the radiator in here, get everything started to hook back up, get the serpentine belt back on. Not gonna obviously put the fan shroud and all that shit back on yet, but you know, we'll get some stuff going, get it ready so we can turn it on and get some coolant circulating through there, and then do a second flush on it. Yeah, let's get it going. All right, so we've got the new thermostat in with the new cover on. I added a little bit of thread lock on the bottom of those bolts right there, and now we're just gonna cinch them down a little bit, nice and even, so it gives a good seating on that gasket. And yeah, from there we'll get all the plugs back plugged in. There are a couple of grounds that ground out on this back bolt right here, so don't forget to, like, you know, put everything back the way you found it, happy camper style. And then we'll dry off the pulleys and everything. A little bit of water got in there, but yeah, we'll get the serpentine belt back on and get new hoses connected, and I'll see you guys in a minute. All right, so we've got 2 of these nice hose clamps at each end, and you can't see it behind and down there. Oh, maybe you can a little bit. Yeah, they're there, right down here. Anyway, much easier to use and get to with a screwdriver that has like a 5/16 hex head on it, which is perfect. Also took out the coolant and washer fluid reservoirs and cleaned the hell out of this guy. I'd rather get a new one, but I don't have the time right now, so next time. All right, so now what we're gonna do is get the radiator put back in here. We've got the serpentine belt back on, so you can see, and everything's ready for the radiator. And once we get the radiator dropped in, we're going to change this out, I guess, a little bit and do some modification there to get a second condenser here for the transmission cooler. All right, so we got the radiator, new one, back in, and you can see, look at this, 40 millimeters wide here, and the old one, I mean, that's OEM, and it's just, you know, width of a finger. So this one's a little over twice as large, which is nice, much bigger coolant capacity. I haven't hooked up the hoses yet for the upper or the lower. Right now I am actually putting on that secondary transmission cooler, and instead of using the one inside the radiator, we're just going to be running it out to that one over here, which will then be mounted on the front of the condenser, the AC condenser here. And that way we can bypass the one internally, and I'm sure it would be better in this one than it is in the OEM one, just simply because of how much larger this is. But OEM doesn't really do a terrible great job at cooling it, so we'll have it coming out to about here. The lower one will come up through this hole right here and then go to the bottom of that, and then we'll finish getting the radiator set up and pull the plastic off the upper and the lower, and then get the power steering cooler all set up again too. Make sure fluids are all topped up and get things running. I'm really excited. I'm stoked. All right, so we've got the hoses all connected up right there, and I went ahead and zip tied the lines over so that they'd be a little bit further away from the serpentine belt. Now they're going through this little hose, and I took some of the extra cut off and ran it along this metal edge just because it's a lot safer that way. And you don't really have to measure with a measuring tape per se. I just ran it to where it was a comfortable length for that hose. You don't want to bend it over a 3-inch radius. So these are all pretty gentle curves, and it lines up pretty nicely. And now what we're going to do is take these little Ziploc posts and push those through the radiator if you're going to be or through all the condensers, and if you're going to be mounting it straight to the AC condenser like I am in this application, it comes with these sweet little foam pads with mounting tape on the back and holes pre-drilled all the way through them, or pre-punched. And so those things just punch through this, slide one of these bad boys on, and then it'll punch through here and also punch through your radiator, like I have that one locked in over here, and just clip the end off, and then it's mounted and you're done. Awesome. So got these pushed through, got the mounting tape foam pad things on there, and they just come through on this side, and you lock them in place and clip the ends. So now we're going to go ahead and finish hooking up the power steering cooler over here where it runs through the radiator. I do have a secondary for this as well. Boom, right there. And yeah, then we'll get the upper and the lower reinstalled and get all the fluids back in, get this stuff kind of pulled up out of the way, and put the MAF back on, and get her started up. pretty excited. All right, we're at that moment, guys. Got the lines on. As you can see, still got them doubled up, even though they're pretty close. Got these on, and it was nice. This radiator came with the brand new fittings. I took them out and thread locked them and put them back in. And it also came with the brand new clips, so I get to stow away that kit, or little set of clips that I bought for next time, or whatever else I need them for. And got it mostly filled up. We'll see. It took about 1.5 gallons already, and I need to run and grab more. But I'm gonna reattach the battery and get it turned on. I got this bungeed out of the way so that the fan can move freely. Everything looks pretty good. Everything looks clean, or cleared out anyway. I'm gonna have to get some more power steering fluid too, because I think taking off those lines I lost a little bit. And then also some transmission fluid. I need to get a little bit extra of that. Everything I've got's back in Montana. So all right, we're gonna turn her on, and hopefully nothing bad happens. All right, a little bit nervous. Oh, we at least got power. That's great. Make sure the radio is shut off. I want my music to start playing right away. See what it sounds like. Sounds fine. Everything looks good. Sounds smooth. Yeah, definitely need more fluid in there. But as we can see below, nothing's dripping. That's a great sign. Nothing's squealing. It's another great sign. Yeah, all right. Well, on this note, I'm gonna head into town, check my heat real quick. Well, it's gonna be fine right now, but I'll have to keep an eyeball on it just to make sure. Yeah, it's cold as hell right now. But yeah, town's only like 5 minutes in. This acorn tree keeps freaking dropping bombs on me. And I never hear him hit the ground. I hear him hit the van, and I feel him hit me. So I feel like it's personal. But yeah, so I'm just gonna keep my eye on the coolant level and the temperature when I go into town. Super stoked. And yeah, sounds like it's doing great. I'm gonna put everything back together, fan shroud, air box, and then I also have to finish repairing my door. But that's fine, that's easy peasy. But I think that's it for radiator replacement, tranny cooler, secondary thing installed, a full flush. I washed about 1.5 gallons of distilled water down through the radiator, but the 1/2 gallon in, it was already coming out clear. So I just did a couple more flushes with it. Then I flushed about 1/2 gallon of the coolant down through it too, until it was, you know, more orange. Yeah, then refilled the system, but didn't have enough. So we're gonna go grab more coolant, gonna grab some more power steering fluid, and also grab some more tranny fluid. And I'm gonna close this because, oh, that's what it is. I don't know if you can see the branches moving up right there. Right there. There's this squirrel up there that's been at it all week, just rustling down some acorns on top of me. Ah, see, a couple more just fell and hit Max. All right, anyway, I'm gonna get this, the rest of this taken care of, and thank you for hanging out with me and Max. And I actually really love having the brush guard here, because I still have plenty of room to take off my entire front end. But then what's really nice is, I mean, if you're flexible enough, I just climb right up in, and now I have an awesome seat for really reaching in and getting into the van, which is super difficult on the Astros. But if you have a seat that's nice and high up, it makes it a lot easier. and I just found that it's comfortable sitting here rather than standing on a stool and being all hunched and bent over and stretching. I can do everything I need to from sitting right on the brush guard. So that answers that question that I'm sure somebody had. Yeah, radical. And that's it for this project. Next thing I'm gonna do is put the door back together, but I'm not gonna record that because it's just a couple of screws. And don't forget to like and subscribe. More different, weird, fresh content coming whenever I feel like posting. So I'll see you guys next time. Ciao.